Have you ever wondered how the wealthiest people in the world actually manage their money? I mean, it's not some secret club with a handshake, right? It's really about a fundamental shift in how you think about money. And that's exactly what we're going to break down right now. A simple, powerful framework to help you manage your money like the top 1%.
So, take a close look at this chart. It shows you who makes up the world's richest people. You've got your entrepreneurs, your investors, even some people who inherited it. But what's missing? I mean, really look, that slice for salaried employees, it's 0%. That's not a typo, and it's not an accident. It's a huge clue that points to one massive idea.
And this quote right here, this gets to the absolute heart of it. The path to real wealth isn't just about earning a bigger paycheck. It's about owning things, owning assets, businesses, valuable skills. That is the mindset shift. So the big question is, how do you actually make that jump from just earning to owning? Well, you start with a clear, actionable plan.
And that's where this comes in, the 25-15-50-10 rule. It's a blueprint designed by self-made millionaire Mark Tilbury, and it is a super simple framework for telling every single dollar where to go. Because listen, it's not just about how much money you make, it's about how you manage what you make. So let's break it down, starting with the real engine of your wealth.
First up, 25% for your growth. Now, this is absolutely the most critical part of the whole system. This is the money that you use to buy assets, the things that literally work to make you wealthier even while you're sleeping. And the sooner you start, man, the more powerful this becomes.
Okay, check this out. Let me show you why starting early is such a game changer. Meet Billy and Phil. Billy's smart. He starts investing $200 a month at age 20. Phil waits until he's 30, but he tries to catch up by investing more, $300 a month. Now get this, by the time they're both 60, Phil has actually invested more of his own cash. But look at the final numbers. It's staggering. Billy ends up with almost $600,000 more, all thanks to the magic of compound growth. That 1 decade of waiting literally cost Phil a fortune.
So where do you even put this growth money? Well, you can think of it on a scale of risk and reward. On the lower risk end, you've got things like index funds, which basically let you own a tiny piece of the whole stock market. In the middle, you could be investing in yourself, developing a high-income skill, or starting an online business. And then way up at the high-risk end are individual stocks or crypto. For most people, the smartest move by far is to build a solid foundation with those lower-risk assets first.
Now, how you invest is just as important as what you invest in. You've got to use tax-advantaged accounts so you can keep as much of your growth as possible. So in the UK, that's an ISA. In the US, a Roth IRA or 401k. And check this out. That fact about Peter Thiel is just incredible. He used a Roth IRA, an account available to so many people, to grow over $5 billion, completely tax-free. It just shows you the insane power of these tools.
So here's your game plan, and it's simple. First, automate it. Set up that 25% transfer to happen on payday, so you don't even have to think about it. Second, build a simple portfolio, something like US stocks, international stocks, and some bonds for stability. It's a proven way to get market growth without taking crazy risks. And third, once that system is running on autopilot, your main job is just to focus on earning more so you can invest more. But what happens when life throws a wrench in your plans? Well, that's where the next part of the rule comes in.
Next up is the 15% for your stability. Now, if your growth fund is the engine pushing you forward, think of this as your financial seatbelt and airbags. This is the money that protects all your progress and makes sure one bit of bad luck doesn't completely derail your entire future. You know, a lot of people don't have a money problem, they have a stability problem. Mark Tilbury tells this story about how his car engine blew up when he was young. He had zero safety net, and it forced him into debt and set him back an entire year. Without a stability fund, you could be forced to sell your investments at the absolute worst time, like in a market downturn, turning a temporary dip into a permanent loss. It's a disaster.
So how do you build it? It's pretty straightforward. First, figure out your target. 5 months of your bare-bones core expenses. Second, you've got to store it somewhere smart. And super important, this is not for investing. It needs to be in a high-yield savings account where it's safe, you can get to it easily, and hey, it's earning a little interest. Finally, just stack it fast. Use automatic transfers and little hacks to build it up as quickly as possible.
Okay, now for the biggest piece of the pie. 50% for your essentials. This is for the stuff you genuinely need to live. And the key here is to focus on what truly feeds you and keeps your life running, not what feeds your ego and just makes you look rich.
And if you think, oh, that doesn't apply to people who make good money, think again. A shocking 60% of Americans making over $100 grand a year are still living paycheck to paycheck. It's just wild. It proves that a high income means absolutely nothing if your spending is out of control. It's not about what you earn, it's about what you keep.
So this is the question you have to ask yourself all the time. As your income grows, it is so easy for luxuries to start pretending they're essentials. We call this lifestyle creep, and it is the silent killer of wealth.
Let's get really clear about this. Essentials are your housing, your groceries, utilities, basic transportation. Luxuries, that's the designer clothes, ordering takeout 3 times a week, having 5 different streaming services, and that brand new car payment. The goal is just to be brutally honest with yourself and lock your essentials in at that 50% mark.
To help you stay on track, use this simple little mental system. Before you make a non-essential purchase, just ask yourself 3 quick questions. 1. Is this an impulse buy? If it is, just wait 7 days. 2. Are you buying for the brand or for the actual value? And 3. Will this thing genuinely improve your life? This little checklist helps you be intentional with your money, not just emotional.
All right, finally, we get to the last 10%. And you might think this is the least important part, but honestly, it might be the secret sauce that makes this whole plan sustainable in the long run. This is your reward money.
Because let's be real, if your financial plan is all about deprivation and has no fun, you are going to burn out. The data actually shows that 92% of people overspend after these intense saving periods because it just starts to feel like a punishment. This 10%, this is your scheduled cheat meal. It's what allows you to stick with the diet.
The key is to spend this money on things that give you lasting value and joy. Think experiences over just stuff. Vacations create memories. Hobbies keep you passionate. And spending on nights out or gifts for people you care about, that strengthens the relationships that actually matter. It's an investment in your well-being.
And here's a super simple system to manage it, the Joy Jar. Just create a totally separate bank account for this 10%. Automate the transfer every month. You can spend it guilt-free on whatever you want. But, and this is the rule, once it's empty, it's empty. You wait till next month. No cheating. This simple little trick prevents your fun money from leaking into your other financial goals.
So let's bring it all together. This isn't just 4 separate tactics. It's one complete, powerful blueprint for your entire financial life.
So there it is, the whole framework at a glance. You've got 25% for growth to buy the assets that are going to work for you. 15% for stability to protect you from life's curveballs. 50% for your essentials to cover your genuine needs. And that crucial 10% for rewards, which is what makes the whole plan stick.
And that really brings us to the final crucial point. Your money is always at work. Right now, as you're listening to this, it's working. It's either working to build your wealth and your freedom, or it's working for someone else. The banks, the brands, your landlord. This framework gives you the power to decide. So the only question left is, who are you going to put your money to work for?